Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Welcome back to the Misunderstood Show. Today we have Cari Jo Parham. She is a realtor. She's also an amazing singer. I love her voice. I've seen her multiple times and I keep going back. I'm like her little fan club now, which I love. But she's also an amazing agent. She works with a ton of investors. She's extremely knowledgeable. She's on top of her stuff, which makes our job easier. And so I'm welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So, well, what you wanted to know a little bit about me, I guess. You just kind of put it all in a nutshell right there at the opening. So,
yeah. Start out with that. Well, so today I really want to talk about, the misunderstandings, obviously, between being a realtor and a singer, and how that kind of sometimes can collide, and maybe sometimes people think you're not taking one job seriously because you have the other job. I know that can be, because I have multiple jobs and people are like, how can you do one thing well if you're doing another thing? They feel like you have to do one thing to be really good at it. And I don't think that's true at all, because I know you and I know that you're good at, but very good at both. And so,
I mean, it heads up to moms. You learn quickly when you have children to multitask.
For sure.
And do a lot of stuff. I personally didn't go into real estate and pursue it as a full-time career until my kids were grown, though. So yeah. I see people's points, because I do see those agents who are moms, and they're those stay-at-home moms that are trying to make real estate work, but yet they've got the little ones that they're dragging along to places, and it just doesn't work for everybody. And then, it doesn't always work for clients, but there's always a client that is also going to bring their kids along too, and they might work really well together. So there's always somebody for everybody.
Right.
I got started in real estate as basically an assistant. I was a secretary by trade. Even in high school, I was the principal's little secretary's secretary. I'd run and do records and all kinds of stuff like that. So I was good at that kind of stuff. And then it just morphed into more. I started working at a brokerage. It was one guy. He owned a brokerage. He was a builder. He did all kinds of everything. He had properties. He had apartment complexes. So I had a little mix of, I started out with him as his bookkeeper and his telephone answering service.
And when was that?
In 2002. A long time ago. And he looked at me and he was like, "Hey, so if I want you to get your real estate license, shall we do this? Like, would you get your license?" I was like, "Yeah, why not? I don't mind." So I went and took classes. This was in Michigan. Took the classes, 4 days of classes. Totally different than here in Texas. Also a long time ago. 4 days of classes. The 5th day, you go down and you take the state and federal exam. Boom, you're done. Got my license, came back, and he was like, "Okay, crash course. Here's what we're doing." And he taught me a lot. I learned a lot from him. I learned property management. I learned what to do, what not to do with clients, how, apartments work, how independent things work.
Investors.
Yeah, and he was an investor. He would buy properties. I would tag along with him for everything. By the way, I also had my infant with me when I'd tag around too, because he let me have my child at the office all the time. That's awesome. I had one in school and one that stayed with me. So I get that. I've learned how to multitask. As far as now, I've worked my way up to broker. So I now have my own brokerage. I've broken off of I no longer
Pay.
have to pay somebody else. But just because you're not paying someone else doesn't mean there aren't fees. That's another misconception. People are like, oh, why don't you just be a broker? You're an agent. You've been doing it
You
for
have to
20
pay for
years.
everything.
Yeah. Well, now you got to get your own insurance. You got to get your own, you've got to market everything yourself. So sometimes it's just easier for agents to pay that broker because that broker is already covering a lot of that stuff.
Right.
So that's one of those little misconceptions too. Why isn't everybody a broker? It's so easy or whatever. It's not all.
And
It's
all the
always-
liabilities on you.
Yes. Now I'm like one-stop shop. If I screw up, it's me.
Yeah.
So
You're
and
held
if
to
they
a much
screw up,
higher
it's
standard.
me.
Yeah, you're held to the highest standard.
Yes, you are. So, yeah. So, and then with that being said, and then my music, I don't consider it another job.
Because it's something you love to do.
That's something that I just get out and enjoy doing. It's kind of like one of those, it's a relief. It's that at the end of the week when I get to go and get up on stage and see people and sing my heart out, it's like, all that pressure and, contracts and all that stuff, it's gone. You just, it's not in there, and it just gives you that fresh air and that change that you kind of need. And that kind of helps motivate your business more too, because you do have those breaks.
Right.
You're not 100% always real estate. And it's really easy to fall into that.
Oh, I know several agents like that and brokers. And I used to be kind of like that. You need that artistic release or whatever your hobby, or if you hunt or fish or whatever you do, you've got to take a break.
You've got to do it. Yeah. And it's
But at
hard.
the same time, like you're still like your band, you have a band and that's a business. I mean, you're going and you're playing and you're getting paid and you're working for, these other people that hire you, and it's still a business.
It's still a business.
I know you
It's
love
still a
it,
commitment.
but there's still the stresses of having a band and everybody getting along, and there are different ideas, and people may not always be dependable, or you're dealing with the restaurant who,
closes shop the night before you're supposed to be there,
or sound check is wrong, or
the day after Christmas. So the week of Christmas, I ended up getting sick, and we had already made a commitment. And on the 26th, we had a gig. We were set to play at No Label Brewery in Katy. And I woke up that morning with no voice. And I was like, what am I going to do?
I remember you telling me this.
Oh my gosh. And I mean, it was raspy.
And you sang anyway.
It was so horrible. I felt so bad because I got up there and I gave it my all and I pushed through it. Do you remember the episode of Friends? Did you ever watch Friends?
Yeah.
Okay, so Phoebe gets a cold, right?
Okay.
And she's the singer, right?
Right.
And so she's like doing her smelly cat kind of thing, and she's singing her songs, and everybody's like loving it because she had a cold. And so she had that raspy, like Tanya Tucker growl in her sound. And so she was like, oh, and then she loses her cold and she's back to normal, and everyone's like, whatever. I kind of felt like that night. I had that real rock growl in my throat. And I was like, oh, okay. But I
You just go with it.
I just went with it. And the bartenders and stuff that were there, they're like, we could tell you were having a hard time. But you still sounded great. I was like, you guys are too sweet. Thank you so much. But it was just, the show must go on.
Yeah.
And that's the same for real estate. I mean, if I'm sick, I have an assistant. I don't want to get somebody else. I don't want to get somebody else sick. So we kind of bounce things off each other. She's licensed, so she can go and show people for me if I'm like hacking up a lung, and nobody wants that. Who wants to spread the love? So she'll do that. My husband's also licensed. He can go show properties if need be. You push through because the show must go on.
Right.
So it's kind of that's, you learn to make it happen.
Right.
And the trust and the bond that you build with your clients, they get it too. Like I said, there's somebody for everybody. If I'm out showing all day Saturday and I'm like, hey, I've got a gig that I've got to get to, I got to be done by about 3:00 so I can get home, get dressed and get on stage. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, so come on out. So sometimes it just becomes they're new in town. If they've relocated or whatever, they get to come see a new restaurant. They'll see their agent up on the stage singing. We become friends. Then they follow us and come here and there.
How do you have that much energy?
I don't know.
You just, you never stop. You get up early,
I do.
you start working, you work out, you work all day, then you go sing, you come home late, you got to pack up all your equipment.
Yeah, my husband wonders the same thing. He's like,
does he have as much energy as you?
No.
Because he's pretty hyper. He's more hyper than you. Does he just burn his energy up faster?
He burns his energy because he's got to store it all up so that he can be in public.
Oh.
He's the chill, relaxed, stay at home, do nothing, hang out kind of guy. But then he gets into public and he has to not be his normal chill guy because he doesn't think people will want to hear that. He has his opinions and his thoughts, and people don't always, we don't always agree with everybody's.
Agree.
No. And so
we're
he gets himself prepared and emotionally there so that he can, deal with people.
Gotcha.
He's not as much of a people person. I, on the other hand, love being around people all the time. So I think that's kind of a motivator as far as that goes.
You don't get burned out?
Sometimes.
Yeah. You just need to go home but you have a beautiful place that's secluded and quiet. You have you live in a really nice quiet neighborhood, and you have a resort in your backyard.
Yeah, we've managed to make our home kind of our sanctuary. Mm-hmm. We have our chickens.
That's kind of the point that everybody should live that way.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like. Mm-hmm. And you've got him busy at home a lot with projects.
Yes. He's there right now. He's working on getting our push buttons. We put up new fencing, and so we got gates going into our driveways now.
Oh.
And so
on both sides?
On both sides.
Cool.
Yeah. And so the things you don't I said, these are first world problems.
Right.
The things you don't think of when you pay somebody a lot of money to come in and put in gates and fencing are, how do I get in and out easily without a lot of inconvenience, right? What if I forget my clicker? How am I going to get in the house? It doesn't just connect to my car. It doesn't just automatically.
Have a pen.
So now we had to, it's all these one-ups. Oh, you want to get in from outside without a clicker? You'll have to purchase this keypad. Well, then, so you purchase the keypad. Oh, well, it takes 15 other ways and things that you need in order to install that keypad. Okay, so we get the keypad. Now we're good. Well, but now how do I get out? If I go to check my mail, I can't get...
You're walking.
If I'm walking, I can't get out of the gate. So then we had to buy a push button. And then you put the push button in and another 15 things to get it all the way over to the gate to make it work. So he's currently maneuvering all those items to get the gate to go in and out so that we can easily get in and out. And so that when people come and visit us, because we do a lot of parties, so when people come over, they'll need to be able to get in.
Yeah, so we can push a code
and get in the door, you know. Again, first world problems, but we work hard for those first world problems.
Yes, you do.
So
I know you do.
And we do like to let loose. Like I said, we do our annual Halloween party. We usually do like an Easter egg hunt for kids. We invite clients with kids out to do Easter.
And she does all out for Halloween.
Yes.
I mean, you bought those giant gargoyle things on each side of your pool. And your husband's like, where are we supposed to store these? You're like, I don't know. That's not my problem.
Yeah.
That's your problem.
Look what I got.
Problems.
Yeah, look what I got. Look at all this stuff. He's like, the skeleton head alone was hard to get.
That skeleton was
and
enormous.
It was huge. And yeah. And he's like, so if you go up in my attic right now, it's just a bunch of bones and craziness up there, like in a big skeleton head that's like massive. But
it looked cool.
Yeah.
I loved those gargoyle things you put on each side of your pool. It looked really cool.
And they lit up with their eyes.
Yes. And then your body's coming up the driveway. I was like, this is really cool. Yeah. It was really, really
little
neat.
Tunnel of terror that you
Next
had to walk
year,
through.
I told Casey we're not making any commitments until we find out when your party is, because we'd already made a commitment,
Right?
And then we end up late because then once you get there, it's hard to get out.
Yeah,
people want to talk, and I'm a talker, and so
yeah,
it makes. And Casey's a talker too, and
you still got there in time. You still got to have some.
It was kind of nice that we got there when everybody was gone, because then we got to spend more quality time
sat and
together. Yeah, that is kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
So but next year I'd like to get there just a little bit earlier.
Played left, right, center.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I love playing games.
It's fun times.
And I love your pool.
Yeah.
You'll have a really nice pool.
That was one of the stipulations when we moved. We were in Cypress area.
Okay.
And we decided we had my grandparents with us when we lived in Cypress. They had their own little like casita. So we converted our garage to a little 1-bedroom apartment. And so Grandma and Grandpa lived behind us.
The ones that raised you, right?
Yeah. And so when we lost Grandpa, we decided that Grandma needed to be in the house with us. Because her sitting out in a separate house, we wouldn't see her like all the time. Yeah. So then I'm like, oh, we got to check in on her. We got to make sure, everything's good. So we decided, okay, let's start looking for another property. Let's go up north. Let's find some land, see what we can make happen. Then we, found this little neighborhood up in the Magnolia area, and 1488 wasn't as bad.
Right.
Just 5 years ago.
Right.
It was nowhere near as bad as it is now.
Even 2 years ago.
Yeah. 1488 is just, you can have an entire show
about 1488.
Just 1488.
I know. I had a discussion with another realtor today about 1488.
Ugh.
I'm like, no. He's like, well, it's not that bad once you get to here. No, it's bad all the way to Magnolia to 45.
Yes.
It's horrible.
So 249 to, it's bad.
It's really bad.
And they keep building more and more apartment complexes.
And then Old Conroe Road.
Yes.
They keep talking about finishing that. So if you have to go back there for any reason, we talked about moving back there because we like the neighborhood back there, and it's very quiet and there's no crime, and we love that area. But
there's one way out.
There's one way out, and we're terrified when they start actually doing construction. What's that going to be like?
Right. Well, now, I mean, it's hearsay, but I was talking to, I don't even remember who I was talking to, but they live back there, and they said that it kind of was put on hold. Because
twice now.
Yeah, because there used to be a bridge over the river, and it kept getting washed out. And they're not wanting to continue doing that and having it washed out. I said, well,
they're going to build a massive
keep building.
They're going to build a massive
big
bridge.
flyover.
But it was supposed to start last May, but it got delayed because of the water crisis. So they had to deal with the water crisis instead and spend all the money on that. And that was the city of Conroe. Now the county, Montgomery County, is talking about picking it up and starting it this year. And it's a 5-year. It's going to take 5 years because they want to make it 4 lanes,
right,
and make it go all the way through to Conroe, right. So right now,
like up to 105.
I guess 105 or the loop,
28,
maybe the loop 336. So I'm not really sure where it comes out, but I know that they're going to make it where you can have 2 ways in.
Okay.
So you don't have
that would help,
because if there's a wreck right now, you're done.
Yeah,
you're toast.
Or when the trees fell over.
What do the kids say? What do they always say?
I don't know. My kids are in their 30s and late 20s.
That's insane. That's not even. I don't know how you had kids when you were 10, but
it feels like it.
I do know how old you are because you just had a birthday on Christmas.
Yeah.
Very big birthday.
Yeah.
And you look just amazing. And I know I tell you that a lot, but I just hope I look as good as you when I'm your age. You're just a few years ahead of me. So,
Yeah. Well, you look beautiful
thank
too.
you.
So I wish I had your hair. I want the long
everybody
hair.
says they love my hair.
mean,
I get that a lot. And it's funny because for 20 years,
And then
I
you hide it and you put a hat on.
I love hats. So,
They work with you.
I feel like I don't have to do my hair when I wear a hat.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing. It's kind of flat on the top and just boring. So if I put a hat on, it looks cool
Yeah.
because it's kind of wavy and textured at the bottom. But the top is just. Ugh.
Yeah. I tend to wear my hair like this with a little bun somewhere
hair
or
always
on the
looks
top
so
or whatever. But I have real curly hair. So I have like, it's not, but again, it's not kinky curly. Like I could just like put some mousse in it and look cute.
It's like in between.
It's like, here, I'm really straight right here and then poofy right here.
That's how my hair is.
So I've got it's always
why we're
you
at.
gotta do it. So yeah. So
my
then
hair
it's
is very straight on the top and in the front, and then it's very, very wavy in the back. And so
and probably got worse with kids.
it did.
Mine got
That's
really
so
kinky
random.
underneath when I had my kids. The first one a little bit, like I had straighter hair.
Me too.
And then I got pregnant the first time and it was like, oh, got all these curls in here.
Yep.
And then the second time it was like half of my head got really kinky. I'm like, oh,
Except the
what's
front.
going on? Except for the bangs in the top.
Me too.
It is this flat nothingness to this frizzy ball of curl. It's
So
like,
a lot of
what
times
the
I
heck?
just curl the top.
Yep.
In the front.
And then you can comb out the bottom because
who cares?
it's already curly. You don't have to.
And I
curl
have
it.
a lot of hair,
Yeah.
so it's a lot.
I know we
to curl.
braided it.
I took the longest. I know I did. I'm like, sorry guys, but it turned out so good.
Yes.
Y'all did such a great job.
We had fun at that.
We did a mud run. Everybody, it was really fun. She left us in her dust.
Yeah,
I'm like, this lady.
we've been working. It's a run. We've been working to run, and then we all start out running, and me and my running mate, we turn around and we're like, wait a second, where did they all go?
We're like, no.
What the heck? They're gone.
Well, and we
keep
had
going.
one girl that was not supposed to run with us. We
Okay.
talked her into running with us that day. She was supposed to cheer with Wendy,
Okay.
but we really wanted to get her out there and motivated
Okay.
because she's trying to get in better shape and stuff. So we didn't want to leave her behind either.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I had told the girls, like, I'm not going to leave y'all behind. I am not a super athlete anymore because of all the injuries I've had, but I can still run.
Yeah.
And I did sprint at the end. And my husband's like, don't hurt yourself.
Right.
I'm like, shh. I'm like, that's you. So he pulled a hammy not too long ago in the parking lot trying to race the kids out of church. And then he didn't stretch or anything. And then recently, we're pretty sure he has a torn rotator cuff right now.
no.
It's been hurting since like November. And it's just gotten progressively worse and worse and worse. And he can't like move his arm. And
Welcome to the 40s and 50s. He's your age too?
yeah, he's a little younger than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little cougar.
Yeah. A little bit.
I've got multiple friends that have husbands that are like 10 years younger than them.
Well, somebody thought I was married to Dick at lunch
Oh.
today. And I was like, I'm 10 years older than him. And they were like, so?
I was like, okay.
I don't think I'm 10 years older than him, but I'm close. So, yeah. I think of him like a little brother.
Yeah.
And then she was like, is that your girlfriend? He was like, yeah. I was like, no.
Like, you wish.
That's what I said. I said, I'm married. She was like, seriously? And I'm like, she thought I was just like playing hard to get or something. I'm like, no, seriously.
Yeah.
Love the guy. He's a great guy. He's still single, y'all. Maybe not much longer. We don't know. He's got a date.
Oh.
He loves when I call him out on the show. Every single show. I'm just gonna make clips about Dick and put them on social media.
That's a little dangerous.
That came
As long
out.
as they're about him. Because that really came out wrong.
That came out. It always comes out wrong. Always.
The 8th grade brain.
I have an 8th grade brain. My husband's like, you have an 8th grade brain. Is your mind in the gutter all the time? And I'm like, it's maybe. I had 4 brothers growing up too, but you were raised by grandparents.
I was raised by grandparents. I was like an only child, but I worked. So while my kids were in school, I worked in elementary and junior high as a principal's secretary.
Okay.
So
You heard a lot.
yeah. And my latest one, was as assistant principal secretary.
You weren't
And
Jason's secretary, were you?
No, no. Different schools.
Okay.
But those kids, that office is where all the naughty kids go, right? So when teachers call in, they're like, this kid is doing this, 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 and this. They call me.
The AP.
And so they get the AP secretary. It's me. I'm usually walking down there with the walkie-talkie, going and getting the kids, talking to them like, what are we doing? What's going on?
Aww.
They sit in my office.
I bet they loved you.
So they loved and hated me at the same time. Some kids were like, oh, yay, Miss Parham, Miss Parham. And then I'd see them out in public and they're like, some of the kids were like, do not make contact. She'll know, like,
I think they're just scared sometimes.
Or my parents will know that I know her and she's in the assistant principal's office and then that's not good. Why were you in her office? So, and sometimes they were, you have student aides and they're always like the most wonderful kids and they do all kinds of stuff for you.
Yeah, you were student aide.
I was.
I was too.
Yeah.
I worked for the nurse.
It's so wonderful.
I loved working for the nurse.
Yeah.
She was so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 7th and 8th grade, I did that.
It creates that service industry.
That, and I think it
When
helps
you're
you
younger.
like understand service and maybe a little bit of business.
Yeah.
Because you start picking up on little things, how things work on the back end.
Mm-hmm. And appreciate what they go through.
Yeah.
Some of those kids would sit in the office and see kids come in flying off the handle and be like,
Or sick kids.
yeah.
Or really injured kids. Or kids with like severe diabetes.
Yep.
Or kids that have special needs. Kids that have, wheelchairs and Down syndrome. We had a kid that fell off a 2nd-story balcony and he broke his neck and he was in a wheelchair with, he had like the tubes and stuff.
Oh.
His name was Justin. And I think he passed like not too long after high school.
That's horrible.
But I got to know him and he had a really great sense of humor. But to see what he had to go through all the time, he was in there all the time.
Yeah.
And then I had another friend, we called him Cover Girl. He would get real mad, or Maybelline Man, because he had really pretty eyelashes and real pretty eyes.
Why is it that boys always get the best eyelashes?
That's
not fair.
I don't know. God has a really straight, I guess because God was like, well, you can't wear makeup, so I'll just make you pretty naturally.
I guess that's fair.
Well, it's like that with all things, like animals.
Animal kingdom for sure.
Yeah, all the birds or the male birds are prettier.
Mm-hmm.
The fish, like a beta fish, the beta are prettier. Lions are prettier.
Yeah.
Even
They have the
plants.
better hair,
There's
everything.
plants
Yeah.
that like, I guess there's not male and female plants, but I just feel like some plants I feel like are female plants and some plants are male plants. We're like weeds.
Yeah.
That's why I like wildflowers.
There you go.
I'm a wildflower.
Yeah.
I'm like kind of pretty, but
Whatever. But we can be really pretty if we put it on.
hey, I'm very tenacious, so I feel like I'm like a wildflower. What is that song? Lainey Wilson. She pushes through the sidewalk crack.
Oh.
Like a daisy pushing
Right.
through the sidewalk crack. That's me.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, that's kind of a pretty flower. But it's not like.
But it's
But there's
pretty in the
men.
circumstance.
But there are certain men that you look at them and you're just like, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I just don't
How
look
are
at
you
women
so
that way, but
pretty?
there's some men out there that are just so good looking naturally.
Right.
And I'm married to one of those men.
I was going to say, I'm married to one too. I'm like, I feel like
I don't see your husband like that, and you probably don't see mine like that, but I definitely see my own like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about how like instantly when you see somebody and you instantly are attracted to them and you instantly know. When I met my husband, he was like, "You were just cheesing the whole time," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh."
Was I?
I
was excited.
He said, "You just smiled like the whole time and just kept looking at me," and I'm like, I don't know. I'd never done that before. I was
Right.
never like that before, and
We have similar meets as well. Like mine happened 25 years
Right.
ago, but when I met my husband,
I wish I'd met my husband 25 years ago.
I met him online.
Yeah, I
back
met mine
in-
online too.
AOL chat room
That's
online.
so funny.
It's so weird because, it's like 1994, the whole you got mail. That's when we started dating online. And that's just so
And back then,
weird.
I'm
That's
sure
almost
people
like
thought y'all
30
were
years
weird.
ago. Yeah, it wasn't a dating site.
Yeah.
It was he was in the military, and I happened to live in his hometown, and his mom and sisters still lived there and everything. So he was in a Tucson chat room, and so was I. And we were just chatting with different people. And back then they had these little, it was still instant messaging. So you're in a chat room and you're getting all these little pop-up instant messengers.
Mail.
Yeah. Blink, 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 talking to different people. So you'd be talking with different people and chatting in a chat room too. And we started chatting and talking. And then, back then there's not a lot of pictures and stuff online, and you still used snail mail to send real letters back and forth. He was coming to town, and he's like, so I'm coming to town to see my sisters. Like, let's meet. And I was nervous because I really like this guy. Like, all the letters he sends me, all this stuff. Like, what if he doesn't look good? That's like really shallow?
I know.
But I'm in my 20s.
You gotta be attracted to the person.
And I was in my early 20s, and I was like, I was like, yeah, okay, let's meet. And so we picked a restaurant to meet at, and I brought a girlfriend with me.
I brought my friend with me to meet Casey.
Yeah.
But I wasn't meeting Casey for that reason. I was meeting him to hire him.
Oh. But I was meeting him to date, go on a date. And I was like, well, I don't know really much about the guy, so you come with me. And when we, if we see him and he's kind of creepy or weird or whatever, we got plans.
You get catfished.
Yeah, exactly. We've got plans and we got to go somewhere. And it was great to meet him, and we'll move on. He walked in the door, and it was like, I looked at my friend. I was like, okay, bye. Like, we're good. I'm okay. He could have been a mass murderer. I don't know. I didn't care. I didn't care. I thought he was good looking. I already knew I loved his heart. Like, everything about him, all his letters. He was a creative writing major. Again, could have been a mass murderer, but he wrote me some wonderful love letters.
Aww.
And to this day, he still checks over all my marketing stuff, make sure that I'm spelling things right.
Maybe you can help me write my
book. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've been working on it for 7 years. 8 years now.
You can be your editor.
Yeah.
So I was like,
serious.
Okay, peace out. And that was kind of history. We dated, and he got out of the military, moved back to Tucson. We started.
Is that when he started working for the school system?
No. He didn't work for the school system until we moved to Texas.
Okay.
He actually got out of the military and went to school himself to get a degree.
Okay.
And then we moved up to Michigan because he went to law school.
Because you had a child young, right?
Yes.
Before him?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to put that out there, but I really think it's an actually incredible story. When I hear women that have children young, it happens all the time. It's nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever. And
I got married to
Very
my
young.
high school sweetheart in high school. We found out, oops, and my kid knows he was in oops. It's not a shocking surprise.
He was a surprise.
Yeah, he was the surprise.
He was a blessing.
But yeah, and love him to death. He's given me my grandbaby. So, but
the hottest grandma in Montgomery County.
I wish.
You are.
So for a man to come in and be a dad to somebody else's child is hard.
That young too. Because y'all were both still young.
We were still, we didn't get married till we were 25, which put, my son was 6, I think, when he came into the picture. But I was also very, we dated for a while before he even met my kid.
Right. Of course.
He never even saw him except for pictures. I just kept it separate. I didn't want my kid to get attached to somebody.
Right.
And then them go away too. So, but because he already had to go through divorce and parent swapping and all of that kind of stuff. So I didn't.
You just
want
have
the
a
deal.
really cool story. Like you were raised by your grandparents, I guess, because your mom just couldn't.
She was young. Yeah. My mom turned 16 2 weeks before I was born.
So
even younger than.
But you learned from your mom's mistake.
I waited till I was 18.
Yeah. I just mean like you.
But no,
you manned up.
became.
Because you understood what it was like to not have a mom.
Yes.
So you manned up and took care of
Yes.
your kid, but you had your grandparents.
They were my saving grace.
Yeah.
They were my daycare. They were there when nobody else was.
Yeah.
Literally.
And your
when
grandmother still lives
nobody
with
was.
you.
Yes.
And she is the sweetest little lady.
She just turned 90.
She's
And
90?
She just turned 90
I
in
would
August.
have no idea.
Yeah.
She's so spunky.
Yeah. Yeah. She just
I just
turned
love
90 in
old
August.
people.
Yeah.
I love old people.
And you wouldn't, I mean, she looks wonderful.
She has a really cool car.
I really hope I can look as good as her when I'm 90.
Well, apparently it's genetic.
Yeah. I hope so. I really
She does
hope so.
look great.
She looks great. And
For being
she's-
90?
And she's still spry.
Most people hope they can even just live that long.
Right. She still like gets on the treadmill and walks every day. She's out in the garden.
Well, that's why she still looks good. 'Cause
likes
she's
doing
moving.
things.
She's
She
doing
likes-
things. She's hanging out. She came and hung out with us really late.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She loves the parties. She comes to my gigs.
Yeah,
She'll come to the bars and hang out with the band. Yeah. Oh yeah. She's,
Does she still drink?
No.
I didn't think so.
I don't
She never
I've
drank?
Never
really?
really, not since I've been alive. I've never known her to be a drinker. They owned a bar.
Well, I think that.
Yeah, my grandparents owned a bar. My great grandfather was a drummer.
Really?
So yeah,
That's cool. So it
Yeah.
runs in your family.
My grandma plays the piano. Like they're all very musical. However, I never learned an instrument. One of my biggest regrets
Yeah.
was not learning an instrument.
I feel like you should still learn to play guitar or something. I
I
could
really
see you
should,
playing
but-
guitar.
when do I fit it in?
I know.
You know, and now I've got old brain. Like nothing sticks. Like it's
Maybe that's why you need to pick up
you know,
something.
you learn it's that this stuff I have to know. This stuff I don't have to know, so it gets dumped daily. It's that daily dump of make room for this stuff because I have to know these things.
Right.
These are laws. I don't want to end up in jail. You know, things that help make my real estate.
And remembering things about your
business.
clients and what's going on. We have to have a
Exactly.
memory like so many things.
Yes, all the dates, all the things. Yeah. So a lot of stuff just gets dumped daily to make
Yeah.
room for everything that has to happen now.
Well, maybe one day. Maybe
Yeah.
one day when things slow
Yeah.
down.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever slow down.
If I slow down, yeah. My husband begs me, slow down. Like, he's like, okay, you got your brokerage. Hire some other agents to do stuff for you.
Yeah, but then you're responsible for them.
And I can't let go. I have such a hard time with that.
And it's
That
going to put
is-
more on your plate.
Yeah,
Because
it
you have to
is.
oversee all that.
It is so hard to let go.
Maybe one day when you have agents that are productive, like super productive, you hire people like that maybe
Yeah.
and just charge them a little bit. And then all you're having to do, you can quit doing your job.
Right.
That's what a lot of them do. They
Yeah.
kind of retire.
Right. And just oversee things
and
happening.
just doing the overseeing.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of stay home more.
Right.
So you're not out and about. And you can even refer your clients to them.
To them. Yeah.
And I know that's what I know an agent right now that's doing that.
Yeah.
She's kind of handing it over and to one of her best agents that's worked for her for a long
Mhm.
time. And so, maybe one day you can get to that point.
Yeah.
I don't see you doing that anytime soon.
Not anytime.
You love
soon,
your
yeah.
clients too much anyway.
I do.
I know you do.
I love I love real estate. I don't know. I really
It is a weird love, isn't it?
yeah. I dig going to home and looking at things. You walk in different lives every day.
Yeah. There's nothing boring about real estate.
No.
Every single deal is completely different.
Everything's
Title's
different.
the same
Yeah.
way. Like every deal we look at is completely different. We see all this stuff on the back end. A lot of stuff you don't even know about.
Right.
We don't ever even tell you.
Right.
We're like, oh my God. Oh my God. Did you see this? Like, you find out a lot of stuff about people. And we can't really say anything.
Right.
It's
Privileged.
it is privileged information. It's a need to know basis.
Yep.
And we're just not going to talk about people's other business. We talk
Right.
about it to each other in the office,
Right.
but we're not going to tell other people what's going on behind the closed doors. You know,
Right.
we can't do that. We have a whole, Sandy in her office has a whole file or whatever, one of those little file holder things. It's full of files that are just sitting there because they can't do anything with them because their families are feuding or
Oh, yeah.
family feuds are really common.
Especially in airship situations.
Yeah.
And
so you see all that. And that's where I'm like, you need to make sure that you have a will, a trust, all these things. But the reason that we have all those files is because they don't have a will. They don't have a trust. Everything has to go through probate. They all are fighting over it. If you have a will and a trust, it's done.
Yep.
And you can try to fight it, but you're going to go to court.
Yeah.
We're going to close it.
Yeah.
And then you got to go to
and
court.
then you can fight it after the fact.
Right. We're going to pay you.
Or even the easiest thing that I tell my clients to do is a do on death deed.
That's but you can still fight that. You still have to go through probate. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You don't have to go to probate.
No, because that house, as soon as that person dies, it
Yeah.
automatically reverts to whoever
Yeah, you're right.
they're giving it to.
right.
So good luck getting it
still
to court,
need to have
because me as a homeowner, for example, in Texas, this blows my mind that it happens this way. But if you're not married to the person that you buy a house with, say you're just dating and you're not going to get married for down the road, or maybe never, maybe you don't believe in marriage. The two of you go in and you buy a house together. When one of you passes, the other one doesn't just get the house.
Nope.
I'm like, what? Why is that a thing? That's not cool. You've both been paying the mortgage. You're both living
Even
in
if
the
you
house.
are married,
Even,
it doesn't.
No. Even if you
If my husband dies right now, I don't get the house.
you don't
either.
get the house.
It's split between me and the kids.
Yeah. I mean, it's worse when you're not married, because then other families become heirs. You know, the mom, the dad, and then it causes even more in your file of drama. So I always tell people, listen, it's the best like $350 you're going to spend with a lawyer. Go down and file a do on death deeds so that each of you, if something happens to one or the other of you.
I think we can do that in our office.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Definitely.
I'm not a licensed escrow officer, so I don't like to answer questions.
It usually happens with a lawyer. It just has to happen.
But I'm definitely going to ask Matt about that, because you're right. I know my mother-in-law set that up. She has a trust and a will, but she also set it up where it due on death. It has her name, my husband's name, his brother's name, you know, where it automatically goes.
Automatically goes to them.
But I do know that even if the deed says something, and I could be wrong, but if you don't have a will and you don't have a trust, it still goes through probate even so. No? And you might know more than me.
No, because the person who's alive was alive when they chose to give that house to the person they're telling it to go to.
It makes sense. But the problem is you have all these people that will come back and fight and try to fight it in court, and then you got to hire an attorney. Yeah. But if you have a will and you have a trust, it's not even going to go to court. I mean, no attorney's going to pick it up because they're going to be like, you're not going to win. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You just have all your ducks in a row, because now you have all this.
Sometimes the trust doesn't work though, because
now you have DNA testing where you have heirs popping up. Yeah. That can come back and say, well, guess what? That's my dad. And I didn't get anything and I didn't even know about it. And now I have a say. Right. And that actually happens. Yeah. It's crazy. My dad was like, do not do a DNA test. And I was like, what? And he's like,
that 23andMe, stay away.
He's like, you will get nothing when I die. I'm like, but I might have a sister. I really always wanted a sister. I've always wanted a sister. I'm sure you being an only child. My best friend is an only child. Okay. And she wanted to be at my house all the time. I had 4 brothers and I just wanted to get the heck out of there. Right. I want to be at her house. And we're like sisters, you know, and she wanted to be, and I want to be at hers, but I know it's lonely. Yeah. It's very lonely.
My mom had kids after me, but I was already gone. Older. I mean, I think my little brother was born when I was 12 and the sister when I was 13.
And you never lived with them?
Never lived with them.
Yeah. Do you have a relationship with them?
No. Not. I mean, they all live in Arizona, and it's not a. I mean, it's a cordial. Yeah. It's a cordial relationship, like as if I were just
a cousin.
Acquaintances. Yeah. It's more of an acquaintance kind of thing. Gotcha. Than an actual brother, sister,
they're missing out
kind of thing. So, but you know, I've got cousins. I've got one cousin that I communicate with, but really like my whole family is in my house, except for my children, but they come back here and there too. But it's that we're a pretty tight knit, small family. So I don't worry too much about someone coming in and trying to steal my house from me,
Right.
But we still have a trust. And
there's also tax
to make
purposes
sure. Yes.
and all kinds of other reasons
and
to have it.
directions of what I want to happen with the house if both of us are gone and who should get it
and all your stuff
Yep.
and everything, your body and
we laugh. I have a fur leopard coat,
like a real one.
No, it's a costumey but I love it. I got it when I was like 12, 13. And I've had it ever since. And, I pull it out on occasion. We're going to do something fancy or whatever, which is so crazy because it's nothing. It was like $100 jacket. But $100 to a 13-year-old
a lot of money back then.
Was a lot.
And back then especially.
And it was way back. Way back.
I have a leopard print coat. I just love it. It's like wearing a blanket.
Yeah. And so
it's not real.
Yeah. And so Wendy, she's like, "Can I wear the coat?" "No, you can't wear the coat." "Well, if you go to this party and you wear it, can I wear it?" And I'm like, "I'm not bringing the coat. What happens if you spill something on it?" And blah blah blah. So when we did our
You gifted
our
us.
trust, I said, "Okay, when I die, you get my coat." She's like, "Oh, that's not fair." She's like, "I don't want you to die, but I really want the coat."
I love Wendy. She is such a doll.
She is.
You lucked out with her.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. She'll do anything for anybody.
I can tell.
She's got a heart of gold.
She has great communication. She's just so sweet. Her little voice. She reminds me of Karen from Will and Grace.
Yes.
Her voice.
Yes.
But I could tell she also has got a little fire in her.
She worked with like the naughty of all naughty kids at the school system.
Oh, so she knows how to hold her own.
She was in the whole special ed department that had kids that threw chairs on the walls and like needed padded rooms.
Is that how you met her?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And so, so I've seen her she gets in mom mode, mom mode when you're ticked off.
Oh, yeah. People are like, "Your mom's so nice." My son's like,
You haven't.
"You don't even know my mom."
Yeah. You haven't seen her when the doors are closed and I screwed up.
For sure.
So she has mom mode. I have that mode out in public sometimes.
I do too.
I've found myself like, especially driving. Do you not want to lose your mind?
I had road rage for a long time. I think I'm finally through it. I bought a Tamed doll.
Okay.
And she was leopard print.
Okay.
She had red hair. And I named her, what did I name her? Oh my God. From Married with Children, Peggy.
Okay. Leopard, red hair.
Yes.
There you go.
I named her Peggy.
Peg Bundy.
And I'm like, "Peggy, no. I would just beat her. I kept her right in between the seats in the console.
Okay.
Have you seen those Tamed dolls? They look kind of like a voodoo doll.
Uh-huh.
But I would just beat her on the dash or beat her on the seat because people would make me mad and it would keep me from getting shot.
Right.
Or going to jail.
Yeah.
And I was diagnosed with PTSD after my car wreck.
Okay.
And then I've had other car wrecks. And then I've had other trauma from abuse and other things. And so I have PTSD. And so it doesn't take much to trigger me.
Right.
Especially when you put my life in danger.
Yeah.
So when you almost run my car off of the road or you ride my tailgate for zero reason because there's 20,000 cars in front of me.
Right.
I can't even see your taillights. I get a lot of anxiety because I get scared.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be hit because I have a ruptured disc in my neck. And if it happens again, I'm afraid I'm going to be paralyzed.
Right.
And so I get a lot of anxiety. And instead of slamming my brakes on and giving people the bird. Yeah.
That's dangerous, by the way.
I know it
I got a
is.
story for that.
That's why I just beat the doll. But it's funny because I started beating that doll and it would make me laugh. And then I just started realizing it's just none of it's, I still get a little mouthy sometimes, like, "You idiot.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Move, move."
What were you thinking? That's like,
Are you oblivious to the people around you?
Do you not see me?
Yesterday, we were pulling to the doctor's appointment for Casey's shoulder. We're sitting in there and we're in a hurry because he has a short lunch break. I have a short lunch break. Our phones are ringing. We're like, we need to get in and out. This mail lady pulls up and just blocks. And there's a car trying to get out. Right when she just gets out. She's in the mail truck.
Oh, gosh.
She's got packages. It's a business. She walks over to the building very casually. Goes in there, takes it, walks back, stops, ties her shoe, does something else, gets back in her truck, does some stuff in the back, just taking her time. And this car is sitting there waiting for her. And I'm like, Casey, should we let her know? And he's like, babe, you're just going to have to let people
be oblivious.
What do you say? Babe, you can't right every wrong.
Yeah.
Because she looked like she was in a very bad mood.
Yeah.
And he's like, she's a government employee. She's probably unhappy.
She probably is.
That's why they go postal. I was like, I don't understand this concept. I'm like, I feel like they have a pretty easy job.
Yeah.
But they do drive all day.
Yeah.
So
they could have a lot of road rage in them.
That's what I'm saying. And it is a little dangerous getting out of a car. Like UPS people get hit sometimes and it's just kind of scary. But yeah, I'm like, I think my husband too has helped me a lot because he's very calm.
He's super calm.
He's very calm.
Like,
he's
do
very
you ever
patient.
get riled up?
He does.
Does he? Okay.
Very rare.
Okay.
His favorite uncle passed this week,
Aww.
and I was on the phone with a client, and he threw his phone. I've never seen my husband throw his phone. He doesn't get mad like that, and I'm like, oh shit, and he's like, get off the phone. You need to get off the phone. I'm like, I thought something happened at work. I thought, oh my god, did he lose his job? Like, what's happening?
Like, what's going on?
And because he has had a lot of stress at work lately, people making mistakes and pissing off the client, and it's not anything in his control, and he's having to like micromanage people, and he's trying to do 2 jobs right now because he got this other job and he's still trying to fill his job, and so he's doing both, and he's just a little overwhelmed. But anyway, he threw the phone and I was like, I gotta go. She's like, okay. I'm like, I'll call you back. Another Karen. Her name's Karen. And so anyway, I'm like, what's going on? He's like, she never calls me. I need to call her right back. And I'm like, who's she? Yeah. Like, you have a girlfriend I don't know about? Like, what's happening? And anyway, he found out his favorite uncle had passed, and he was just very upset. Yeah. And to see your husband that way, and then he cried, you know. He probably doesn't want me telling everybody that, but I mean, he's human. Yes. And men should cry, and they shouldn't be ashamed of it.
They have emotions.
And they shouldn't be ashamed of it.
No.
I mean, his favorite uncle, and it was he lost his dad a couple years ago, or it's going to be 3 years in March. And and it was his brother that he was closest to, and they were literally like identical. And so it was like when we just went to visit him and stay with him, and it's like being around his dad. Yeah. You know, and so, what's crazy is his uncle and his dad remind me of my granddaddy. Oh, wow. And they're all from the same town. I know. And we lived in completely different cities, and we met online, and I don't know. So weird. I'm like, I wonder if we're related. He's like, do not do the DNA.
Just don't do the DNA.
I did get on MyHeritage and start looking at history, trying to find out, but his family hasn't done near as much as mine. Oh. My mother's mother and my father have done a ton of it. Yeah. And my aunts and all these people on both sides of my family. And like there is so much information about I know who I am. Yeah. Okay. I don't know that much about my husband because there's nobody doing that in his family. And so, I mean, there's a little bit, but it's not even close to, he did find out he had a sister in 2019. Oh, wow. That his dad had an affair. Ouch. People make mistakes. Yep. But his mother still loved his father, and she accepted her and was like, it's not your fault. Yeah. You know,
it is never the child's fault.
I'm like, well, you see, you found a sister. I want to find a sister. I want a sister. Because
take her.
He lost his job like right before COVID, and then couldn't find a job because COVID hit. And then they like laid off a ton of people and engineers, you know, it's just that job, you know, like they're doing that right now again in oil and stuff. Anyway, he met her during that time. And so he moved to the farm for a little while and was helping on the farm while he was looking for a job. And she lived over there, and they got really close. And then he met me, and then he started hanging out with me all the time. I think she was like, what the hell? Yeah. You took my brother. Yeah. But she was an only child like you, raised by her grandparents. Oh, her mom messed up, and you know, and so, but she found out she had this family, and now they're all do stuff together, and she came over
That's
for
nice.
Christmas. And yeah, I mean,
awesome.
it's, you just never know. And that's where I'm like, should I do it? Should I not do it? How much money do I want? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't know how much money my dad has, but he doesn't, share that.
Right.
My
Yeah.
family is German. They're like, I'm poor.
Yeah.
But you just bought that. I thought you were broke.
Yeah. I'm broke if you need something. That's a.
But we're kind of like that with our kids.
Yeah.
I'm like that with my kids too.
Oh, yeah.
They
Well, your kids need to learn what it's like to work for what they get.
100%.
That's what we did.
My son's like, Mom, he wanted an electric bike for Christmas. Oh. I'm like, there's a $500 electric bike used on Facebook, but I don't want that one. I
Yeah.
want this one. This is
Get a job.
$1,500 for a 13-year-old for Christmas. I'm sorry, no. And I know other parents do that, and I'm not saying that what you're doing is wrong. Good for you. Awesome. I could be a billionaire, and I'm still going to make my kid pay for it. I tell him I would help him pay for it. Right. But I'm not going to go out and buy him that.
No.
First off, I kind of don't even want him to have it because those things are super dangerous.
So dangerous.
They go like 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And these kids are flying down the sidewalks in the woodlands.
Wood forest is horrible.
Yeah. Golf
With
carts,
e-bikes
electric
and golf
bikes.
carts. But
electric
those kids are doing
scooters.
like wheelies down Fish Creek.
They're doing the same thing in the woodlands.
It's a highway. And these parents are like, oh, they're just being kids. No, they're going to get killed by a car.
We saw some girls
so
crossing
dangerous.
over Research Forest the other day, no helmets on electric scooters going 25 miles an hour or whatever, flying through. And I'm like, my stepdaughter got hit by a car going to school on her scooter.
Yeah.
She won't ride I haven't seen her ride a scooter since. Like
It's scary.
yeah.
PTSD.
She had a helmet on. Thank goodness. She
Yeah.
was black and blue and bruised and scraped. And anyway, we get way off subject here. We do that. I'm going to rename my show Rabbit Holes.
Yeah. This, that.
But I mean, we learn so much about each other.
Yeah.
And I love hearing people's stories. And that's why I love doing this for a living. And I love your story. You have such a great story. You're a fabulous human. I'm so glad I've gotten to know you.
Yeah, it's
just
been-
over the last year, really.
Yeah.
Thanks to Armando.
Yeah, Armando.
And
that
at the Texas Ticket.
fashion show thing or whatever.
Yeah. You end up modeling. Your husband was a model.
Gosh, that was weird. Never done that before.
And
And then your kids wear my husband's clothes because they needed something for guys. Yeah, that was quite an ordeal.
your husband is so cool too. Like he was so good with them. They're like, he's so cool.
You
could tell he understands how to deal with teenagers. And I didn't know he
yeah.
had been a teacher and he was a principal.
No, he's licensed. Well,
Okay.
he's got his master's degree in education, so he could be a principal. He was English teacher and
Obviously.
football coach.
That makes total sense.
That's the loudness. That's the shake you and good job and rah,
And military,
and
too.
military, yeah, Marine Corps.
Yeah, he's definitely a Marine.
And
And his little man purse.
yeah, he loves man bags.
He's like, it's not a man purse, it's a satchel.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's a merce.
it's a merce.
But it's all camo or whatever. It
Yeah.
looks like a military bag.
Yeah.
He has all his stuff in there. He had like some random stuff in there though.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Does he
do
still have his
too.
little Jesus in there?
Uh-huh.
Aw.
And I have a wine bottle opener in my purses. I have a couple different
course you
purses,
do.
and so like there's
You
always,
had to open my wine for me because I'm like, I don't know how to do this.
I'm
I
not
don't
a
drink
drunk.
wine. I got so much wine for my birthday again. I got like 40 bottles of wine for my birthday. And I'm like, guys, I don't drink wine.
Sangria.
I'll drink sangria occasionally. I can't do it all the time because it's so sweet.
Yeah.
It just hurts my stomach. Like at my birthday, I drink it. Or when I go to Green Hall, I'll drink it. Or when I have like friends over, I'll
Right.
drink it. And I like to have it on hand. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, by the way, for the sangria. I really appreciate it.
Wendy, so I messaged your husband on Facebook and
He
said,
doesn't get on Facebook.
he friended me. Like
Like a long time ago?
I don't know. I just
Yeah.
looked through and I saw he
He
had
gets on
friended
like
me
once
or
every
whatever.
few months.
And so I'm like, oh, I've got him on Facebook. Let me message him and see what would Karen like for her birthday. And so we were like, oh, he's not answering. So Wendy's like, but she likes sangria. I know she does. I was like, okay, go get
like
some sangria. And then we got you a candle.
It's just like people buy me like Merlot and all this stuff. And I'm like, I just give it to him.
It's too hard to drink if you're not a huge wine drinker. So, and it was a good thing we had the candle too.
Yeah. The giddy up candle.
Yeah.
For my birthday.
And I was like, Casey, it's a birthday party. Did you get a cake and candles? And he was like, well, her birthday's tomorrow. And I'm like, but today is her birthday party.
He's a man.
I was like, "Oi."
He did great though.
He did. He got your friends and people
And
out.
did you see the pendant Jaron got me? So for Christmas,
so
I
nice.
gave him the horseshoe, James Avery horseshoe ring.
Uh-huh.
And so he got me the matching pendant
That's
with the
so
turquoise
sweet.
stone in it. It
I know.
literally matches.
And tears.
Oh, girl.
Yeah.
I still want to cry about it. How sweet is that for your 17-year-old to do something? Because Casey's like, he picked it out.
Yeah.
I helped pay for it. But,
Yeah.
And he actually spent some of his own money too.
That's awesome.
And I was like, that's when you know you're like, okay, I did okay. Because
Yeah.
there's times as a parent, you're just like, I am screwing up. I
Yeah.
shouldn't be a parent.
Yeah.
What am I doing? Who allowed me to be a mother? You know, I'm not perfect. I've made a lot of mistakes, but I am so dang proud of my kids. I am really proud of my kids.
Yes.
Jaron has turned out to be and he's had such a rough go. We've moved around. I went through a divorce. He got jumped a couple of years ago and that was brutal. I mean, he went through a really hard time. And he punched a hole in his wall and his door, and he had to pay for it. He had to fix it.
Yeah.
He had to pay to fix it. And I know that he, went through a hard time. But
Lessons learned.
that you still have to suffer the consequences of your actions. I don't care what the excuse is.
Right.
You know what they say about excuses? Like buttholes, and everybody's
Ew.
Sorry.
Gone all day without having that analogy.
Casey's like, why do you say something like that? I literally imagine it.
Yeah. It's like, wait, where are we going with this?
But it's true. It's like nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Work harder.
Mm-hmm.
There's a realtor that has a sign in his office that says nobody cares, work harder. It's a big banner. And I'm like, I need this for
And
my
nobody's
house.
just going to give it to you.
Nope.
And
Nothing
if they
in life is free.
And if they do just give it to you,
There's a
you're not-
catch.
well, you're not going to appreciate it.
That's true.
I had a tough childhood, and you push through it. There's two ways you can go. And I've given talks on this, like when I went back to my high school, because I was considered homeless in high school. And when I would go back and discuss this with kids, I'm like, listen, you have choices. Yeah, you have a shit life right now. You've got druggy parents. You've got no home to go to, no hot water, no whatever. Choose to not live that life.
Mm-hmm.
Choose the
What not
other
to
road.
do. Mm-hmm.
You have learned growing up that you don't like this. And that's not the path you want to be on.
Yeah.
So why choose that path?
Yeah.
It might be easier to just sit on the couch and do nothing. Yeah. But that other road is a much better road. You don't know what's going to
Rewarding.
happen.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be better than that one.
Yeah.
Any one step is better than that one.
Yeah.
So you got to make those choices.
You got to
in your
follow
life.
Jesus.
You got to a grander plan for everybody.
Yeah.
And too many people fall into the
Pity pot.
pity of, well, my life was like this. This is all I ever knew.
Get out of your head.
But
do
yeah.
something.
Change what you knew. Look at somebody else's life and go, that's what I want to do. Meet that person, talk to that person, and find out how they did it.
Oh yeah. By the way, the radio station might possibly be looking for an intern, somebody who's committed and responsible. Possibly, we talked about it today. Maybe. So, speaking of which, if you want to get on the radio, if you want to be a realtor, I'm sure you can do internships.
Yeah.
Lots of people will do internships. All you gotta do is ask.
Yep. Too many people just don't ask.
That's right.
They think it's just, oh, they'll never talk to me. They'll never do this. No.
I don't think that they know to ask.
Yeah. True.
I don't think it ever crosses their mind. Yeah. It doesn't cross their mind.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you get out of school, you don't know. We all know you go to school to learn a certain thing. That's not actually what you're learning. You're learning all
Same even school for real estate.
Yeah, even school for
Yeah.
real estate. You're learning
Yeah.
so many things to not go to jail, but you don't actually learn how to do the job.
Yeah.
So you need to get with somebody. So pick what you're wanting to do and find those people that
Or
are willing
sometimes
to
just
show
try a
and
bunch of
help you.
different things.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you want to do. I was
Yep.
kind of like that. But hey, I'm sorry. We have to wrap things up.
Okay.
I'm getting
It
the
was
finger
fun.
over there. Not the F-you finger.
No, wrong finger.
The
The
Karen, stop talking.
talking too long.
It was so great to have you on today.
Thank you for having me. It was
Yeah.
wonderful.
Hopefully somebody will listen to this and
Right.
they'll be inspired
Yep.
to either sing or be in real estate or
Right.
just do something with their life. That's what this is all about.
Sounds good.
Don't be judgy,
No,
people.
there's room for everybody.
Yeah, there is. Absolutely. There's room for anything you want to do.
Yep.
And I like that about you.
Yeah,
And not everybody has your energy, but you can make it happen.
they can.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.